Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes. An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect, when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No. No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which is, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Okay, that was pretty powerful. I'd just kind of rather leave that sit where it was, but I do have to finish that article. I do hope that people will share that video. It gives us an understanding of who we're really, what this is all about, the truth. And Charlene is a wonderful woman. And there is a real personal cost to all of this on the 23 Angels families and friends. So, it takes a lot, I'm sure, to come out like that. And I just have the utmost respect for that. Strength and courage. Wow. And also remember, this is why. This is why we're doing it. Let me finish the Paul P. article. I'm sorry that I was interrupted earlier. Glenn, how's it going? Thank you, Glenn. So we'll just back up to the Myers and the cat. Myers said she awoke at 4 a.m. after hearing feral cats fighting in the yard. She went outside and didn't hear or smell anything. It was peaceful. When she awoke in the morning, she was shocked to find out on Facebook about what had taken place around her. Around 9 a.m., she said the RCMP ERT vehicle turned around in her driveway, and about 15 minutes later, one stopped in her driveway. Officers in tactical gear came to her door. They asked her if she was safe and whether they could search her sheds and a trailer that she owned at the time. They did that and then told her that she should leave and go to Onslow Fire Hall for shelter, that she herself should go. Again, just sending people off on their own. Quote, when we left, we drove up the road, and when we got near where Gabriel's warehouse had been, it was gone, and there was a body lying under a yellow tarp near the gate. A leg was sticking out. I guess that was Corey Ellison, Meyer said. Quote, if there were no policemen around or any yellow tape. Across the road, you could see another yellow tarp where Lisa McCauley was lying. There was no yellow tape there. I didn't see any other bodies, but Frank and Don's place was burned to the ground. One other important thing Myers saw, which helps illustrate the lack of manpower the RCMP threw at the incident. Around 10 a.m., Myers said that she was driving along the 4-lane divided Highway 104 just outside Truro. As she then approached the exit 102, which leads to Halifax and South Shore, one single RCMP was flagging down traffic and conducting inspections. By this time, these first reports were coming in that Wortman was killing people to the north of the area near Wentworth. Again, my question would be, at least on this, sorry to interrupt, but why is the RCMP letting Ms. Myers out of back into harm's way? They won't escort her there or take her out of there. She has to get her own way there. But then when she's out, she's just allowed to leave. That sounds really into harm's way. That sounds rather dangerous. You do actually have a place now that you have people in a safe place, but not making sense to me. There were more than 1,000 Mounties in various roles, and there are more than 1,000 Mounties in various roles in Nova Scotia. The RCMP did not appear to call for help from its own members in Nova Scotia or from municipal police officers in nearby Truro, Amherst, Halifax, New Glasgow, or Stellarton. On the other hand, the force may have tried to call in reinforcements, but no one would respond to something so potentially dangerous and life-threatening. If so, that would be just as disturbing. Deer caught in headlights. As the story of the horrible carnage slowly emerged Sunday, April 19th, Canadians were told that the RCMP would be holding a press conference at 6 p.m. to inform the world what had been going on. It was inexplicably delayed for more than an hour. When it finally began, 2 senior Mounties took the podium. One was Assistant Commissioner Lee Bergerman, the person in charge of the RCMP in Nova Scotia, former CFSEU, biker squad, essentially, head in Ontario, who disappeared shortly afterwards. The person in charge of Nova Scotia. The other was Chief Superintendent Chris Leather. Chris Leather. Sorry. Just so we're clear who we're talking about. The number of 2 Mountie in the province. He was criminal operations officer, the so-called CROPS officer, who supposedly oversaw all operations in the province. All Mounties agree that the CROPS officer is the man in charge when the excrement hits the fan. That's absolutely 100% true. Campbell would have had some roles, as in helicopter support, etc., but the main role fell to Leather. Throughout the day, their televised appearance was notable for the fact that 2 Mounties seemed almost bewildered and nervous, like deer caught in their headlights, as the old saying does. When they described what happened, they didn't get into details. About the number of dead. Throughout the day, the number of people killed was rumored to be 8. They would be the first 8. Now Leather had a new number because it was known that at least 9 people had been killed in Wentworth and elsewhere in Nova Scotia by Wortman. There are in excess of 10 families affected, Leather said, and now about 21 hours after the first 911 call. Some very bad math going on here. Do you remember that they're responding to some of these people? Certain ones weren't discovered until, much later, sadly. The RCMP had all that time to figure out what happened, but could not be specific. The reason for this can be explained by the following fact. Tammy Oliver McCurdy said that the RCMP family liaison officer, Constable Wayne Skippy Bent, Skippy, told her that family members were the last to be killed. That her family members were the last to be killed. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder if Tara's in here. I wish I could highlight that there. Were the last to be killed. Quote, Aaron would have been on guard, she said. He would have heard all those gunshots and would have protected his girls. He must have been the first. He would have protected them all right. He did. And the Tux house on Cabotwood Court was far away from the pod of shootings at the top of Cabotwood Court. If he was killed first, the RCMP timeline is wrong. If he was last, he's likely didn't hear anything due to the distance, the thick forest cover, and the direction of the wind. The most important thing the RCMP told Oliver McCurdy might well explain what the RCMP didn't do that night. It was approximately 4 or 5 o'clock when we were able to clear and get into 41 Cabotwood that evening. 5 p.m. I'm sorry, that afternoon. RCMP lead investigator Corporal Gerard Rose Bertholomew told Oliver McCurdy in a telephone conversation she taped. Quote, I couldn't believe it. 5 o'clock? McCurdy said incredulously. That's almost 20 hours from when they were murdered. 20 hours. What were they doing? As outrageous as it might be to seem to McCurdy, she didn't realize at the time that the Mounties were still playing with the timeline, writing it as they go. She and her sister had been calling the Mounties repeatedly April 19th in an attempt to get them check on the well-being of Aaron, Jolene, and Emily, who were not answering phones or text messages. There were at least 3 different individuals involved in this, 2 families and a close member. Tammy's sister had at the timestamp on her phone the last call Rose Bartholomew. It was 5:38 p.m. Quote, he told her that he was on the way to the house, but they weren't there yet, McCurdy said. That alone might explain why Bergerman and Leather looked and acted so weird on television that night. Their prepared statements about what took place had to be retooled in a hurry, which caused the press conference to be delayed. Of course, we had the return of Bergerman, July 4th. Why are you hiding from that microphone? I wonder. Anyway. The RCMP didn't call in the cavalry on the night of 18th. Wortman provided the Mounties with another distraction when he spent the following morning conducting additional massacre of 9 other people. Innocent people. How did he get out? Including in the slaughter which Constable Heidi Stevenson, before he killed himself, he himself was killed by police. Caught between the 2 massacres, the RCMP seems to have gotten itself stuck in neutral and since then is extremely shy. That's a nice way to phrase it, about explaining why that happened. Please also subscribe to Frank Magazine. Support the work. I've left the link down below. I've been subscribed to Frank for a while. I don't mind bringing these articles and stuff like that, but we have to do our part, right? On the surface, these seem like simple cases. a simple case. A madman goes wild, then kills 23 people, and then is killed himself. 8 months later, we're still trying to learn the simple truths. 8 months. The RCMP and its political and media and citizen protectors, the war room, remember the war room? We talked about that right at the beginning. That's why the Tweeties was used. Thank goodness Charlene talked about that. That's, yeah, I can't even touch it. I'm just in awe. Please share that around with everybody. They need to hear her message. It's powerful. It's powerful. Media citizen protectors have intimated all along that it did everything it could in a desperate situation, fluid and dynamic, unfolding. More neuro-linguistic programming garbage. Psychological warfare. The RCMP says it's committed to being transparent and getting to the bottom of the question barrel and providing every possible answer. Thank goodness, I again, can't say enough about what Charlene said there. You can't traumatize her any more than she already has been. So when you ask her to give you questions, and she actually comes down, out of her way, writes those questions down, and you respond with A, an intimidating situation, and B, not nice and casual and receptive, very intimidating. And then say to her, I'll just leave it at that. Her mother also is involved. Say, we can't answer those questions because that would re-traumatize you, be too traumatizing. Excuse me? That's a complete cognitive disconnect. She's already traumatized by writing the questions down. Now you're going to tell her you're not going to answer her? Oh, ouch. So why the chaos? Why the confusion? Why all the attempts at distracting the surviving families and the public at large away from the real story? Transparency. It is quite clear that the RCMP did minimum it could possibly do. It's quite clear that Justice Minister Mark Fury and the provincial governments had no interest in providing clarity. Conflict of interest, conflict of interest. It's quite clear that Solicitor General Bill Blair and his red face and the federal government is determined to muddy the waters. Former policeman, police chief. Oh, right. The big unanswered question is why? Paul can be reached at his secure encrypted email address, paulpalango@protonmail.com. Equally, you can share information in the links below, and it will get to Paul, most assuredly. It does. Because of the fantastic people here in you guys, right? And here, this is why we're getting so many answers, okay? Sorry, I probably shouldn't have that message. I'm sharing messages. There's nothing in there, but it's you. It's you who has kept this story alive. Nova Scotia guy, Mark Evans, Sad Mafioso, Glenn B, Nassie, Maisie Mac, Kendall, Rage. You know, you guys are really the ones that are, driving this, Paul. And it's a team. And that team is going to be there for Charlene, the 23 Angels, and the 23 Angels family. Don't forget it. This is why we do what we do. Doesn't matter. We know these people. Still going to keep fighting. And the thing is, I think they've underestimated this time. They really underestimated the power that people truly have, the strength, the resolve. You can treat family members like garbage. You're going to get it. Because families aren't going to take it. And nor is the general public. I certainly don't want to live in a society where my police force, my money, want my underwear back. All you can get fired. All of you. I want all of that cleaned up. I love my RCMP. It is an icon. You want to play criminal acts? You want to transparent? You don't seem to know honesty anymore. You want to do that? Get a job scrubbing a toilet. Let's support the heroes that night. There were heroes that night. Let's have a police force that acts as a police force, not as a thug unit. You all know about the, let's see, where's that? Raid that happened, or whatever the hell you want to call it, just an absolute gong show. Where is this here? Doodle-doo, doo-doo-doo. Oh, good. Okay. What am I looking for here? My apologies. One moment, please. All those guys down below, too. Please follow them. They're just doing fantastic work. Now, retweeties. Okay. This. On here. You guys are all familiar with this, right?
What the fuck is going on?
Now, when I saw that, I think of a few things. One, this is down the street from a school. Highly dangerous. This is rush hour traffic. They're bolting through traffic. I think I have another video of that. Let's see. Thanks very much to Lie Detector for helping me with this one, forwarding it on, and also Nova Scotia Kage gave me some stuff on this too. I'm sorry I haven't got that with me right now. Now, let's go back here. Okay, so this is just a different angle. If we're looking at it here, the bridge that we were looking at, the car, one of these cars over here is what is filming right there, right? And you're going to watch here, different angle. I don't think there's audio on this. There we go. See, that's when the video. It would have probably been that red car there that was filming it. There was other things that took place. We got the bombings up in Amherst. My question would be, why wasn't this kind of response down there? Portapique? I mean, yes, I understand it takes some time. But look at this. There's very few officers on the ground that night. Why didn't you do the right thing? I did hear that it was close to a school. I could get the school name, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll stand corrected if I am. Why? Why is this going on? Scaring the bejesus out of citizens? Okay? In rush hour, driving over lawns. I mean, this is straight out of... This is something Onslow Cowboys type stuff. CPA, high school. Where's the response on Portapique that night like this? Secondly, the thought that came to my mind was, I think they're pretty angry right now. Frankly, I believe certain characters that may have been participating, may have, I'm going to throw that out, may have participated in aiding or in that evening, that night, that next day on 18th and 19th. Oh, I think you're going to have some hell to pay. They're very angry. They got a lot of guns. They got badges, and they got the law. That's a lot more than some people have, than I have, than you have. Really, I wouldn't want to fuck with these people. And they're angry. One of their own was killed. So the people who are involved, I would think actually best come forward. Really? Sadly, though, some innocent Nova Scotians are going to pay along the way. And you can't have this kind of pure haphazard stuff going on. This is not the way that we exist. This is not a society that we live in. Okay? If it has to result in something like this that's endangering children, bring back the death penalty. Let's just get rid of people like this. Okay? Then we'll just straighten it out real fast. Because there's no point in having innocent people dying all over the place. There's no point in having a police force that's committing criminal acts. Not this, long drawn out process. Just let's draw and quarter them fast. Send a message real clear, fast. We don't participate in these kinds of activities. We don't allow them in our society. Clean it up. Unless something else is going on. But I don't want to go into, what is it? Where's my hat? Funnily enough, anything that we've said pretty much has been pretty much on the money. I believe I can think of few things that we've gotten wrong, very few, and we've identified, yet the things that we have said that are right, predictions, etc., have come true. Better than the RCMP, which is about as transparent as a shower door. Anyway, I do hope that you all have a good day. Please subscribe to Frank. Support the good work there. I think Paul's having difficulty, as he explained. And, that's not on him. It's on the media who wants to push false narratives and bullshit. And sadly, we have a few of these clowns still running around, which is really sick and disgusting that they're capitalizing on. Just sick. If Lisa's been abused, it's going to come out. And not with one piece of paper and not with one person. There will be a shit pile. And there needs to be a shit pile. And there needs to be a shit pile of paperwork and hospital reports over years. Then I'm going to believe it. You got one clown, two that come forward, and one hospital report. You can go and take that, stuff it up your ass, because it's about as good as your fucking video evidence. Done with the lying. Stop it. You stop building on the lies. Lie after lie. Trying to get yourself out of it. People aren't going to give up. We won't stop. Ever. Get it clear. Those days are done. God bless you all. Take care. Please share Charlene's video. I'll tell you. Yeah. I think you can tell. It does something to me. Hearing these stories does something to me. And it should do something to you. And it should do something to everybody. We can't have this any longer. Never again. Never again. And give us the fucking truth. I'll drop that for you, Kendall. Appreciate all of you who have shared that around in your social media platforms. I don't like to ask things to be shared. I don't. Because this is nothing about over here and who I am or whatever. That doesn't matter. I'm a nobody. But these people are what this is all about. Let's see here. Just, wow. They're probably going to want to bury that too, which is really sad. Let's see here. Where's the share button? You're technologically, what was it? Jordan said. You're basically can't do the techno stuff. I can't. Paste, please. There we go. All right. So there we go with the Charlene's appeal for truth. She has questions in there. She explains where she's coming from. Brave. So brave. So strong. Are the emails we are sending you bothering you? If so, no. Absolutely not. Nothing bothers me. I can deal with it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Let's get it all. Love each other. Okay. And thank you very much. It is. This is all about like love. It's not about, love is not a bad thing. Who cares? Somebody thinks that's poofy or whatever it is. Bring it on. I don't care. I love people. Is there something wrong with that? I love good people. I hate shit bags. Oh, back at the bar. That's the way we used to deal with it. Seamus led a very different lifestyle once upon a time, I assure you. Now, so please share that around and also subscribe to Frank, okay? Because that article was behind a paywall, and I don't want to screw them. I don't want to screw Paul. This is all about collective group effort. So many of you working so hard. You're in here. You're, sharing it around. You're telling the stories to your friends and your loved ones. You're getting them interested. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is why CBC and Global and everything, they have to pump out the garbage. Try to lie to the masses some more. Where we can be getting the truth. Everybody knows. Transparent. Fuck you. All right. Now, on that note, with my rudeness, I will bid you adieu, and do take care of each other. God bless.